Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Knott with Commercial Integrator, and we are thrilled today to be joined by Frank Scartozzi, Director of Sales Americas for Matrox. Welcome, Francesco.
Thank you, Jason. Nice to be here with you.
Well, let's jump right into it. Demand for lecture capture has been growing over the past decade, we know. But why did Matrox decide to focus on the lecture capture market with its Monarch LCS product?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, if you know Matrox, at the core, we're a manufacturer of premium hardware. And what we do typically is we address workflows that can't really, or I should say really could be improved with hardware. So we started this journey a few years ago when we launched the Monarch HD. And this was really to address the growing enterprise video encoding market. Our goal really at the time and the design philosophy around the Monarch HD was that anything worth streaming is worth recording. So that gave birth to the Monarch HD, and it allowed us to enter into a lot of different workflows worldwide. And we were exposed to the education market with the Monarch HD, but being used mostly for special events like convocation, live sports, where, you know, for webcasts where families couldn't be watching either the football game, baseball game. And that really helped us get slowly into the education market. And the unit, being a streaming and recording appliance, was also being used in experiential learning, which was really cool for us to be part of because it gave us a glimpse of what the classroom starts looking like. But we really only had the tip of the education classroom market there because we were being used to record like either mock trials or nursing procedures to be immediately reviewed later by the students as a team so they can identify what they did well or not. And the people we were working with, the head of the classroom technology of the universities and the schools were telling us, you just don't know how close you are to being in every classroom. And as we dug and to find out what that meant, it was because of the fact that we could record and stream one source, but in the classroom, what makes up a classroom is video of the professor giving the course, the material of the course. And if you can actually somehow give that to the students in the way they want, then you get into the lecture capture. And that's really what gave birth to the Monarch LCS and our philosophy of trying to make an ideal lecture capture appliance that could go into every classroom, not just a few. So that's how we got into it.
It's very interesting to hear that evolution of the market. So what specifically are your customers looking for in a lecture capture solution?
Yeah, so fundamentally, apart from the basics, which is being able to mix the video and the material, the fundamentals behind the great lecture capture solution or lecture capture appliance is that it has to be easy to integrate. And what we found out is that, because we're really coming at it from a completely different perspective, right? We're not coming at it from what they're used to. So easy to integrate, what they were telling us was that we don't want to be locked into an LMS or CMS. We want to be able to choose our LMS or CMS and independent from the lecture capture appliance. And the thing that the Matrox LCS, the Monarch LCS does, it allows you to use that with any LMS that you'd like. And we have that integration with a few partners. So definitely easy to integrate and allowing them to choose which LMS and CMS, learning management system, content management system they'd like. The other thing is easy to operate. And this is key. The irony is that the lecture capture appliance is usually the heart of a lecture capture system, but it needs to be invisible, okay? So easy to operate means that once it's set up, you really don't need an engineer or technician to be involved in the process. You don't want to change the behavior of the professors. So they come in at 9 o'clock to give their chemistry course, they just start. And what's happening under the hood is that lecture capture system needs to be scheduled and told to start and stop. So that easy to operate needs to be there. Other things to think about is, the environment that you're in. And during the day, if the network environment in a school is quite busy, what they need is a way to store and forward. When we have that with the Monarch LCS, which allows you to record all of the day's classrooms locally, and later at night, it could be scheduled to do an FTP transfer to the central storage. So easy to integrate, easy to operate. These are key factors of what the universities were really looking for when considering electric capture appliance.
It sounds like the product really is a comprehensive solution. So obviously this has brought you closer to that educational market. In that experience, what are some of the common barriers to entry from a typical university that you found that keeps them from investing in lecture capture solutions?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, it's as simple as the biggest barrier to entry is price. Because, the lecture capture environment or lecture capture solution is not a new idea. It's not a new workflow. It has been around for a decade, believe it or not. However, it hasn't been adopted in a big way. We took the approach that we want to be in every classroom. And to do that, you have to be affordable. We don't have recurring costs. We're a hardware manufacturer. Our philosophy is once you buy it, it's yours, right? So there's no recurring cost. There's no variable fee depending on how many students are enrolled in your university. So if you could make it affordable, then all of a sudden, you start changing what's happening in the industry. The fact that only a few classrooms were lecture captured enabled really doesn't serve the students. And our focus was really, to put the focus on what we could do to enhance and make the overall education process better for the students, right? And the fact that the affordability can't be ignored. At $24.95, this is a unit that could be installed in almost every classroom out there. Whether you're one of the top, Ivy League schools or a community college, it doesn't really matter. We've even seen it being used in some K-12 scenarios. So once we got that, once we committed to offering the ideal lecture capture appliance, and where we put the student at the center of this design, then you start seeing how things could happen. In fact, one of the examples you could see of how Matrox put the student at the heart of the design is something that we call dual isolated mode, which effectively, going into a little bit of tech, what it does is it captures the video from the room and the material from the computer, which are different frame rates, right, together and in sync. Why do we do this? Why is this important? Keeping the student in mind is that during the review process, when the student is viewing it, now they become the producer. Dynamically, during the playback, they could put the material in picture, side by side, only professor, only material. They put the focus dynamically in playback where they want to see it. Unlike other solutions where it's cooked in picture, and well, if important information was behind that video, you lost it. We took the philosophy of really putting the student at the heart of it. So, when you look at the barriers, if you can make it easy to integrate, easy to operate, and affordable, I think that we could achieve our goal, which is to make every classroom lecture capture enabled.
Yeah, plus that flexibility there for the actual student. So if somebody wants to find out more, what's the website, or where should they go to get a little bit more information?
Sure, go to matrox.com/video and look for the Monarch LCS.
All right, Frank, thanks so much for spending time with Commercial Integrator today, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great day. Take care.